But Kamala isn't safe either. She's getting torched in Josh Shapiro's new book, Pennsylvania's Democrat Gov. Shapiro was too kosher for Kamala. In fact, so Jewish that Kamala's team thought he was an Israeli spy.
For someone to question my loyalty, particularly as someone who is as open about his faith as he is, was offensive to me. I don't know if the vice president knew that I was being asked that question, and I don't know if the vice president knew that I called 48 hours before she announced her decision to pull out and tell her I did not want to be considered. I don't know.
Shapiro says nothing was off limits, not even his wife.
There were a number of moments in that process where I was asked things, or in the case of what you just said, I thought folks weren't particularly respectful to my wife, that left me really questioning whether this was something I wanted to do.
Shapiro not holding back. He says Kamala was a complainer, hated her role as VP. Her staff hid bad news from her, and what irked Kamala the most, she didn't have a private bathroom. The left better get it together. Life comes at you fast.
Take a look at how Democrats who disapprove of congressional Democratic leaders. Hello, we're talking about 57% in January of 2026, the second highest disapproval rate for Democratic leaders from their own party on record. Democrats hate their own congressional leaders. These numbers are awful, awful, awful.
Let's bring in Amateur Hour author Charlie Spearing. All right, Charlie, tell me about this brewing conflict between Shapiro and Kamala Harris.
Well, that's interesting, Jesse, because part of the vetting process, when you're going through a vetting process for vice president, for a running mate, part of that process is to get asked antagonistic questions to see how you handle under pressure. And hey, maybe Josh Shapiro is presidential because it appears he had very thin skin about these questions, save them up to write about in his memoir. Look, you don't think Kamala Harris sat through this process when she was being vetted? 9 hours straight of vetting is what she reported in her book, and you can bet there was plenty of questions asked about her previous relationships, even her past relationship with Willie Brown.
Yeah, I'm sure these questions when you're getting vetted are supposed to be awkward. He seems a little sensitive. What about Newsom? So they're saying Newsom's walking around like he is the next president of the United States. Is the word on the street is he's too cocky?
Oh, I think he's trying really hard to be cocky. The knee pad stunt was, kind of silly. It's kind of old campaign tactics. But look, if anyone knows how this works about the knee pads, go back to 2019 when President Donald Trump went to California after the wildfires. Gavin Newsom was effusive in praising the president then. He's saying he performed above and beyond expectations. So he knows what it's like when you are a local governor and the president comes to town. You have to give him all the praise and all the glory and really be appreciative for everything he's done. That's why I think when you see Trump, he doesn't sort of treat Gavin Newsom like he wants to be treated. He really wants to be seen as the #1 contender at this point.
Yeah, and the knee pad stunt, not good, because now I'm just going to call him knee pad Newsom for the rest of the campaign. Charlie, good to see you. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.